Hey guys, today with the topic, finding your own purpose and the positive attitude. I'm just getting to it, it's 2 a.m. and I woke up from a dream. Wide awake and my head is rattling. The day before yesterday someone asked me how to find my purpose and I just realized how intertwined these two topics are. Where do I best start to take you with me? Your purpose is about working for your own happiness, seeing the meaning in it all and really being able to follow it like a red thread. But it doesn't start there. You don't find the purpose today and everything will be fine. Just like you usually, if you haven't found it yet, find it by chance or by what you always do in your everyday life, you suddenly find it out of nowhere. It is work. It may be luck that you find it, but usually through something you do differently than usual. With this I don't want to tempt you to unstructured actions. If you shoot your time and energy out into the world without a goal, without a point and a comma, and simply without direction, you won't be able to do that for long. Another approach, which is just buzzing around in my head. Since it really dawned on me what I want to do, where I'm at and where I want to go. I'm approaching this part of my life with a completely clear and, sometimes stressed, but positively stressed manner that is taking me further than anything before. Before, I was in my own way. In the meantime, I notice, like now, for example, that my subconscious itself is clearing the way for me. Dreams, for example. This one has given me a topic for you, a way and the motivation to speak it directly now. There is no tiredness, no need to do it at all costs. Simply a flow of speech that relieves me further, because I can do what I enjoy and therefore have my 3 videos the week Tuesday to Wednesday night already in the can. Previously, dreams have pulled me down, burdened me, made me afraid to fall asleep because I did not know if and when I can get up. It should be said that I suffered from stress-related migraines. I was practically turning against myself and putting pressure on myself that this can't be happening now. That I have to get something positive out of sleep. Recovery. And you can transfer it to any other moment. Stressed, dissatisfied with yourself, no real perspective, hamster wheel, only happy on weekends once in a while. Who the hell wants to live like that? Little by little you develop an attitude that pulls you down more and more. What I have noticed over time is the following: we are not complete and dissatisfied within ourselves. The only thing we know from childhood is to strive for attention and happiness from outside and to want to get it. We are felt like an empty bucket that needs to be filled over and over again until say the weekend so we can endure. Then it gets emptied and the game starts all over again because we don't build ourselves up. Because we take this concept of being dependent on the outside for granted and strive for more and more. Now each of us is already building up a little bit over time. Let's say we start with 20% content of the bucket at the beginning of the week and only need to get 80% from the outside to not become completely broken and unhappy. Next week again 20%. Sometimes you don't quite reach 100 and despite everything you are not satisfied with yourself, the overall situation and so on. This goes to self-worth, as we depend on doing well and the world around us seems unfair. But part of the 20% is self-worth. If that goes down, you lose part of your self-built foundation. That means you're always between needing to get enough recognition, validation and attention from the outside before your value and happiness seems to diminish and you need more of it next week to make up for it. And that's why you don't become happy. Because you are completely dependent on the outside and through negative confirmation, because it happens that you don't get enough, you get a negative attitude towards everything. Now you can come to me with, yes, the glass is always half empty instead of half full. I am not a pessimist, I am a realist. If you were a realist, you would deal with the conclusion you draw and try to solve it. There's your solution. Fill your damn bucket with validation that you built for yourself and that no one can take away from you. You will never reach the 100%. You are human and we need our social connections. We always find fulfillment when someone praises us, thinks something of us is great, or validates us. But you can fight this compulsion by building a foundation that is clearly higher than what you need to draw from the outside to get inner peace, relaxation and a positive outlook on it all. Part of it is self-reflection. Just released the video about it, feel free to watch it, so you know what it really means in my eyes, and the purpose. Now the question, how can I find it? Yes, and there we face the problem. Because the purpose is a very individual matter. I don't even mean that some people are more able to work with people and others want to depend more on themselves. No, our strengths lie in what we like to do, because we repeat them with a certain drive more often and also more doggedly, and thus we learn faster. But sometimes we don't know them at all, or they are hiding behind doors that we have always passed by so far, because we haven't thought about opening them at all. I think my parents used to have, possibly for the wrong reasons, namely, so that the boo is beschäftigt, introduced a rule. I always had to, no matter what else was going on, pick a sport and an instrument. The sport was mostly an team sport, so that I got among people and had exercise, and the instrument, so that I had something to do every day. That's what I would recommend for the beginning. You're not 12 anymore, you don't necessarily need a sport to learn social skills. But you get out and have a rhythm, it's good for you, you have fun, and you also get new ideas. When I think about how I've already shot myself out of life in sports and partly got completely out of my everyday life. And the instrument, yes, it can be an instrument, but above all it's about a skill, and that you spend a certain amount of time every day to learn it and have fun doing it. Be it painting, photography, learning Photoshop, restoring a car, anything that in your eyes is not a waste of time, that you enjoy and that gives you skills for the future that you won't have to think about later, but that you can do. For you. No need to compete with others. If you want that, that's fine, too. But try out new things that might suit you. I realized for myself, I will never get to my purpose through the work I had at that time. I always approached things completely differently than everyone else. The job itself with its daily recurring tasks, which you could automate more and more and prepare half a year in advance, was simply no challenge for me. That's what it's a little bit about. If you under-challenge yourself just to get your job done and look forward to getting off work, how are you supposed to happily get up every morning knowing that the time from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. is actually wasted and given away for a fixed amount that you get whether you do your best or not? Of course, not everyone is in the position, and you have to be careful to secure your income or not to risk it. Only if you see the chance of something that can bring you more fulfillment, then get your ass out of the comfort zone. That's a good tip for the purpose anyway. You will rarely find it and improve yourself within your comfort zone. You are investing in yourself. If you have already tackled these 3 things, you now have a potential job that makes you happy. Monday through Friday 3/4 of the day around. A sport you do between 2 and 6 times a week. Hour on it. A skill that fulfills you, brings you down, is fun, another 1-2 a day. You educate yourselves and occupy yourselves with yourselves. Follow what seems to make sense to you and try out new things. You can either do this with all your free time, like I did at the beginning of the year, or you can do it bit by bit. Always work on one topic after the other. Maybe slower, but safer, and in the end it doesn't matter how long it takes you. No one is helped if you create an additional stress factor or existential fears for yourself. Anyway. As far as the outside is concerned, which gradually brings you closer to your purpose, you create the framework conditions for yourself in this way. If someone had told me a year ago that I would sit there and meditate for 10 minutes in the morning, I wouldn't have stopped laughing at him for the next 10 minutes. You guys sometimes stand there and seriously say, and I believe you this, I have no perspective. I have no idea what my purpose is. Sometimes we have to slide into a track first to realize how intriguing we really find it and how we can jam ourselves behind it. Find that in every area of your life, keyword serious man, or in the case of a woman, maybe I have to make a video about it. But the areas of life or pillars of life are the same, only that male develops in a different direction to meet his purpose and feel happiness than female. To get back to the beginning, a lot of chatter about self-improvement and, admittedly, you would have to fundamentally understand you as an individual to be able to give a clear tip in the direction of your own purpose. Who do you think is most competent to do that? Right. Yourself, once you have understood where you really are and have accepted yourself as you are. You can build on that. And if you don't want to be dependent on your environment throwing positive and negative things at you, then you need a firm foundation within yourself. This includes at the same time that hardly anything or anyone can do anything to you. How should he also, if you rest in the moment in yourselves and are content? If you see the world realistically, but you can still get something positive out of every negative situation. Even if it was only the bad experience that taught you something. It's better than letting it ruin the next 3 weeks, which offer new opportunities. So, I'm going to sleep now. Take care and until the next video.